Good afternoon, Ambazonia. Today, na number 12th day for the month of March 2021. Welcome to my daily podcast. My name is Capo Daniel, Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonia Defense Forces.
Children, them are dying, them are going 6 feet below. Even the handicapped, them are being brutalized.
Now, our own countryman, Sense Past King, I come again with another episode for this day regarding the interview granted by the Press Secretary of the Governing Council, Mr. Lucas Asu, with the leader of our War of Liberation, the President of the Ambazonian Governing Council, Dr. CHO AYABA.
Questions for you that have been submitted by the public. Now, let me ask you this. Recently, about 2 weeks ago, there was an audio that was sent out by Jumba Akuro, in which he stated that the leaders held a meeting. Were you invited to that meeting? And if so, why did you not participate?
Yes, I held discussions with some of the organizers, I think a year ago, when they were still doing the planning. But, I have said repeatedly that we should stop calling anyone who creates a two-persons group who comes on Facebook and talk about the Ambazonian struggle a leader of this endeavor. When we do that, we proliferate, the space with everyone. Everyone is important, but not everyone is a leader. Not because you scream a lot, not because you abuse and attack, that makes you a leader.
Dr. CHO AYABA, he explained, say, Ambazonian, they need to be careful for the way they call people, then say leader. Just because some person are leader for some group, they don't gather make their group, it not necessarily means say that person they lead the endeavor, they fight for our independence. So he say not be because some person they shout too much, or you go open Facebook page and then you gather your friend them for make group, or you gather people for make group. That means say you don't be na the leader for the Ambazonia and their war for independence. So if na so would they do, then leader then go just plenty for way confusion go day, and it go be very fine way for present our matter, for coordinate our case very well.
And they are constituted groups within our struggle. You have the Ambazonian Governing Council that is driving the liberation agenda. You have the IG that came about through the process of hijacking the SCACOV initiative. Those are the two principal groups. And I think if we focus on these two principal groups, it will enhance the possibility of collaboration and a more resource liberation agenda that can quicken, Cameroon's demise.
That means say two group then they way that come together, people then be done come together from different constituents. That means say different stakeholder groups or different group of people them come where they can establish these two organizations them where they the help for push this our struggle. One na the Ambazonian Governing Council, the other one na the IG where it be formed about as some group they be just take over the joint platform for SCACOV, then turn them into IG. The leader of our liberation, it talks say if we focus on these two major group them, then it will be easy for we to be more efficient. That means say more faster for win Cameroon for this our struggle for independence. As the governing council, na the drive, na be now the primary group way, na be faster for push the things them way it give we the victory for coordination for ground and also for diplomacy. So if we focus on these two main groups, it will be more easy for our people then for come together, for collaborate, meeting the worker fine.
I will not, I traveled to Nigeria I met Siseko. I traveled to the United States. I met Dr. Sako. I met Dr. Kwanga. I met Bo. I met John. I met all of them. It has never worked. Why the so-called bringing leaders together has not worked is because we bring in journalists, we bring in communicators, we bring in political activists in the name of leaders, and we are not able to agree on anything.
So Dr. Ayaba, he explained, say the thing way all these things say leader them come together in any work now because we bring in people then we would call them say leaders, but we someone then are those journalists, someone then na leader for some different organization, different kind of people them would just come together, and then it be difficult for them to agree on anything because we all look them say them be something but we them be a different kind of thing them. Someone them na journalists, someone that they lead na some organization where they not belong, they not there for the side of war, so then we get different kind of people. But if we don't call them say all them na leader, then it is difficult for them to make any unity.
Secondly, you have some of these groups are constituted under Dr. Sako in ARC, and he should speak for them. He should represent their interests. So I will not be wasting any more time at a particular time when I think we need focus and concentration in enhancing our strategy on the ground.
The leader, he did talk say some of these group them they don't already join, make one group where get head, like the one the way then they for ACT. He include all those group them, and when na Sako be their leader, they no fit they still work again. The talk say na different group where all them na one group. So he no fit the waste the time say they go make unity with them for different group with them fit join themselves. Say na one man make a can turn up for front for talk on all of their behalf.
I have made it clear I am open for discussions with the IG on the kinds of compromises which I talked about initially for us to move forward. But it will be a huge distraction and a waste of time and resources, as it has happened in the past 4 years, to always bring together anybody, together anybody and begin some propaganda, begin some deviation, distraction from the core issues that are required. You wouldn't hear these gentlemen, most of them are men, come into a room and emerge, not with a press release, but with $100,000 to buy more arms for our forces at a time when La Republic is increasing its assault on the ground. So I think Amazonians have recognized those who lead them, and I think they should be focused during the period of transition. Everyone who has been, doing work within constituted groups, whether social media bloggers, prisoners of war, activists, will be constituted in the transitional authority to make sure that we build the systems that will be implanted for the period of governance.
So Dr. CHO AYABA, he talk say he be open for talk with the IG, but make we not waste our time for gather people them for different background, give them all one name, say leaders, and then put them for group, check say we go come out with anything we go help, because we don't already try for do that one plenty times. Ambazonian people them by now, they know the leader them where they don't already lead the effort for Ambazonian independence, both for ground and for diplomacy, and they just need for focus for their back, for their effort them, me them push them for their back, me them begin to go for before. He talk say during the transitional period, all the other various people them make them no worry, they will be constituted within the transitional authority so that all man go get a place, all man a place he go day. Me man in no worry. Talking about active collaboration, this is what the leader of our liberation has to say.
I will wish, and I have communicated that to them, the Amazonian Defense Forces is a force for the liberation of homeland. And I would really appreciate if all of us focus in investing in the Amazonian Defense Forces to ensure that we can speed up the liberation. But when you ask others to invest in a force that is under your absolute control, what are you offering?
So Dr. Cho, he talks say, he go, if better for ye, if all man be joined for invest inside the Ambazonia Defense Forces, the ADF, because it be built now for liberate the whole of Ambazonia. But
when you ask others to invest in a force that is under your absolute control, what are you offering? And I have made offers like the ADF's mandate is gonna definitely end on liberation. And we will, together as a people, during the period of transition, establish transitional institutions that brings everybody together.
that means say the wish for Dr. Cho na say all man for come for support the ADF as the best way for push the independent for forward. But he talks say you know if you just expect all man for can support the a force way it then under the direct control of ye under the governing council. So na way the offer say the mandate for the ADF it go end for the liberation with the liberation for the country when the country then gets the independence. Then we as a people go together make transitional institution them where it go bring all man together. That means institution the way go guide the country before it go set up a real government them where it go get all man together.
We will together as a people during the period of transition establish transitional institutions that brings everybody together, everyone together, to look at the kinds of economic system, the political system that we are going to put in place, the nature of our military. And then we hand over those institutions to Ambazonians to now elect their members of parliament within their constituencies. Those members of parliament will sit in parliament. The majority party will elect the prime minister of the country.
After this transitional institution, them it go then design the kind for government where they go want to for make it day, the kind economic system where they go want to make it day, the kind way army go day, the kind way police go day. They go make all these things them. Then now they go call election. Me the Ambazonia people them then choose their own parliamentarian them. Now that parliamentarian then now they go choose the prime minister for Ambazonia.
I'm definitely very confident that the fear of some that the Amazonian Defense Forces will be used, to install unilaterally a president does not hold true, especially when we consider the nature of our political system. The president is just a nominal figure, the head of government, and the sole instrument of policy formulation and implementation will be the prime minister.
Dr. CHO AYABA, he explained, say, he sabi, say some people that they fear, say the ADF, can go take power, then only by themselves with the governing council, go put president and government for place. But they talk say that one it no be correct, and they no get that intention. Their intention of free the country. When that country go there, the people them, they go vote for themselves. Then at the party we win the give majority of parliamentarian, they go choose prime minister. And that prime minister, he go get the power for form government, for make policy them for that government. President now only nominal, na just position where you no get power for inside Ambazonia.
So that is what I offer. I think it is difficult to launch any new defense initiative 4 years into our war. And my wish will be that we all focus and have some political compromises, focus on the Amazonian Defense Forces, rally the minimal resources that we have to provide it with what it's needed, enlarge and strengthen it, and make sure it has, what it's required to liberate the homeland. While we can sit at leadership to hash out some simple political compromises during the phase of transition and move forward as quickly as possible.
Dr. CHO AYABA, he explained, say it be very difficult for any man for come say one can create a new army for ground zero right now. After 4 years, we would have already defined. So it could be fine, make all man come together for come support the ADF, make it big, because he already get very strong and solid structure for these 4 years, and it will be more effective because the resource them will get and the money way ambassador they gather them in already plenty for begin divide them too much. Therefore focus on one major force, make a me big fine, me strong fine. It will be easy for we for win. If they get that political way, that political arrangement between them the leader them, and then that means the two major faction, it could be easy that time for we for go before for focus now. Why they fight they go on for ground, the leader they now they go the craft come together for craft out the kind political structure where it could they for make the compromise them for where it could be needed for make a transit meeting then do work as smoothly how way they go. So that was one segment. We will try for broke down that speech, that interview for more segment, so that make all what people them sabi which way the leader they talk am. May God bless all now. My name is Capo Daniel, signing out.
Ooh, yeah. Pamela is falling, but I am sure she will rise again. Fonfuka is falling.